Hi everyone and welcome back to our LLG lessons. Hope we're having a nice week and we've been out on the golf course keeping the games going. Not long till Christmas now, so get them last few games in and then we can enjoy a few days off before we get back to it in the new year. So hope you're enjoying all the content we've done over the last few weeks. Welcome to our new subscribers to the website as well. We've had another 8 when we joined the platform, so be sure to go in the members area and check out all the videos for all the lessons. We're going to keep the content coming every Sunday and Wednesday to keep the games going over the next few months to get us into the springtime. So tonight's session is a new one, so it's all about how to practice. So we're doing lots of drills at home, but now we can go back to the driving range. What are the key things you can do when you go to the range and have a practice session? I see a lot of people just get a bucket of balls, go on the range, hit loads of shots, and then go home, and it's maybe not as effective as it could be. So I'm going to talk you through today some of the things which we can learn from the best players in the world. So what do they do in their practice time? Maybe what I've learned in the past when I've seen people practice and they've got the most out of it. So these are all effective things you do on the driving range. So a bit of a different session tonight. Things that you can take away and put into practice when you hit the driving range, hopefully in the next few weeks. So a few quick fire points as always. So about 10 minutes long. Let's go through the few things which can really help you game. So the first thing to do is obviously warm up when you get to the range, and as we spoke about in previous sessions, that doesn't have to be very long. It can be 2 minutes. I've done the warm-up video in previous lives, so be sure to check back on the different exercises we've done. But the key thing is to be dynamic. We're moving. We've done the swoosh swings in previous videos. We've done the one where we're around the shoulders and we're moving the body. The swoosh swings, a reminder if you're not seeing them, is when we get the club upside down and we get moving. So I think when you get to the range, it's important you spend 2 minutes, literally 2-3 minutes just doing that to get the body active. Once we've done our warm-up, the next thing I would say is think about dividing your practice zone into a thinking area and a doing area. So a lot of people, when they're on the practice range and on the golf course, they get over the golf shot, they've got a million thoughts in their mind, and then suddenly the body freezes and they can't deliver that nice, smooth, relaxed swing. So when I practice, a lot of professionals do this. They almost separate the zones. So this red line here on the mat, this could be, the partition at the back of the range. It could be a different colour carpet. But put something down on the ground whereby when you're behind this line, you can think about what you're there to do. So let's say a lesson with your coach. You're working on something. Let's say I'm working on more rotation of my swing. I'm behind the red line, I can think about it here, really get myself in some nice positions, feel that rotation, and then when I step over the red line, this is my doing area. I'm not thinking now, I'm getting myself set, and then I can just hit the shot down the range. And then hit the shot, and then I go back to the area where I can think about it again, and repeat that process. Try not to be on the range, just hit ball after ball, and don't move off the mat, because that will really decrease the productivity and effectiveness of your practice. So really think about separating these zones. That's a really good tip to start with on the driving range. The next tip I want to talk through is exaggerate your drills. So this is something the best players in the world do, really well actually. And if you're learning the game and if you're an existing golfer and you're trying to improve, you'll notice it's quite difficult to make drastic change in the golf swings, and subtle changes are quite impactful in the golf swing. So let's say, for example, I'm working with someone, I can think of loads of women I've taught this year with a common fault, which is this one, which is when we get the club working over the top. So we spoke about this in previous lessons. This is called an over the top swing, which leads to the club coming across the body and we end up slicing the ball off to the right. That's an over the top swing. Now, if I was teaching someone to try and improve that position, the thought I'd give a lot of women this year to fix that specific issue is get to the top of your swing and then feel like your hands drop into your right pocket. So if I drop my hands into the right pocket, notice how the club now is the complete opposite side of where it was here. So straight away, by me thinking about my hands in my right pocket, that gives me the feel of the opposite way of the fault I'm trying to fix, which is out here. Now, in reality, you'll never really achieve that position on the golf shot. But if we can practice this in our thinking zone and feel zone, if we can get that position closer to there, and it actually becomes more like here, well, you've made a nice change. So you were here, we've done an exaggerated drill there, and we sort of meet in the middle to get a nice neutral golf swing. Justin Rose is a really good example of that. For years, he's done a similar drill where he gets this off his swing and he drops that club into that position, because sometimes he loses that club over the top. So if you watch Justin Rose on the golf, on the TV, at any point you'll notice that drill, it's massively exaggerated. So that's a good tip for all golfers. If you want to work on something with your coach, overdo it on your practice swings and it'll have some impact on the actual shot. That's a really nice tip. Learn from the pros on that one there. The next tip I would say for the driving range is vary your targets. So don't just stick on one target the whole time. When we get on the golf course, you really test on your alignment on the grass. I think when you get on a driving range, the mat is pointing you in one direction, and it's easy just to hit constant shots in that one direction on the mat. So personally, when I go to the range, and I say this to women at the lessons all the time, maybe try and pick out 5 targets across the outfield. So maybe one on the right, one in the middle, one on the left, one short, one short right. And every time you hit a shot, you're constantly bouncing between the targets. If you just stick on the same target all the time, that's not realistic to round of golf. So try and vary your targets, and that'll massively help you test your alignment, which is what it's all about when you get on the grass and off the mats. So keep bouncing on the targets, don't stick on the same one. And then another little exercise, which again, learning from the pros, the best female player probably of all time was Annikas. So Swedish golfer. If you've not heard of her before, you can look her up. She's won, major titles. She's shot 59, which is the best score of all time on a golf course. But I always remember watching her practice routine at the range. I thought it was really good. She approached the range, she did the warm-up as we suggested, and then she basically worked up and down her golf bag. It used to take her like 20-25 minutes. She'll get on the range, she'll hit some little chip shots to start with. She'll get one of her pitching wedges out here, and then she'll start her practice routine with some little chips. Just maybe hit 2 or 3 shots away. Again, different little targets. Then she'll progress up to some full pitch and wedge swings. So just gently easing her body into the move. Again, going to different targets. Then she'll bounce to the mid-irons. Just keep moving up. Just literally 2 or 3 shots. And then she'll get to the hybrid clubs. Then she'll hit 2 or 3 drivers. And she'll come right back down the sequence again. And that was really a good field drill for her. It gives her a really good switching between the different clubs, different hitting down, hitting up on the ball. And then what she did as well, which I always really liked, if she's practicing before a round of golf, she always finished with the club she's going to start on the first tee with. So if your home club, you need a driver, make sure you go in the morning and finish that driver. If your open hole's a par 3 and you've got a 7-iron, maybe finish with that. So you go to that first tee with that in your mind. So that's a really good drill from Annikas, I thought. Up and down the bag, she called it. 25 minutes, but she got to hit at least 6-7 of her clubs straight up the driver, straight back down. And the one thing she did say, interestingly, was she never really hit more than 2, 3, 4 drives on a practice game, because I think once you hit 4 or 5 consecutive drivers, your body starts to tire a little bit, and it's not realistic to round a golf. So that's a good little tip from Annika, which you can do in your practice time. And then the final thing I would say on your practice time is make it fun. So what can you do to set yourself a challenge? So if you're with your friend, obviously a lot of these ranges now have the screens, Top Tracer, TrackMan, so you can get interactive with some of the games you can play now. But even if you don't, what can you do as a little challenge with your friend or even on your own? So the one I want to give you all to try with, and a lot of women might have seen this one, is a little challenge for you to get yourself some dry shampoo from the shop and just literally spray that on the face. And we can see here, it leaves a really nice layer of shampoo on the face. And as soon as you hit your golf shots, that will leave an instant mark on the face there. So your challenge is, I'll set you a challenge, hit yourself 5 shots and try and get at least 3 to be in that centre of the club face. Instant feedback for you, and it keeps the game interesting. Okay. So I've got lots of little drills you can try on the range, and if you are struggling with anything at all in your game, or anything you want to drill on, like the one I said tonight, like if you're coming massively over the top, what's an effective drill? Just pop onto the members area. We've got an instructor support portal there now, so you can comment in there, and I'll gladly put some drills on for you. If you're struggling with one particular shot, just post a comment, and I'll reply with a drill that'll keep it fun and interesting for you when you do your practice time. So bob on the forum and pop a note in there, and I'll have a look at it. But yeah, so hopefully some little things you can do. At home, think about them drills, but get to the range, get to the golf course and practice effectively, and that'll massively help your game keep improving. So that's another quick fire session there. Hope you enjoyed that one. I'm back on the weekend to look at some accurate putting. So I've not quite done accuracy on putting yet, so I'm going to go through some putting drills on the weekend. So have a great rest of the week. Hope you enjoyed that one, and I'll see you all very soon.